Occasionally people will reach out to me and they're at their wits' end, struggling to learn guitar. They can't figure out why they're not able to do it. They're practicing all the time. They're trying really hard. And it makes no sense that they're not able to play an entire song. And then I ask them, so what songs are you trying to play? And they show me a song that has like 5, 6, 7 chords in it. And immediately I know exactly what's going on and exactly how to help. Whether you're just getting started on guitar or maybe you've been going at it a while, banging your head against a wall, trying to, get to that point, the solution is simple. It's all about reducing variables, simplifying it to the point where you can actually play through an entire song, sometimes even on day one, and then slowly growing your skills as you learn songs through a song-based approach. It keeps things fun, it keeps you motivated, and it's done a lot for my students. Now, to help you with this, to give you a logical order of songs that you can learn, because it's tough to find those really easy 2-chord songs, but I've found them all, and I've created a page on my site. It's completely free to access. There's no catch, no sign up, nothing. You can just go to it right now, and it's going to show you all of the easiest songs and how you can build up from learning just a couple chords into playing the most common chord progression and, getting your fingers going that way. You're going to be playing songs right away and learning a whole bunch of songs as you learn the chord shapes. And to top it off, there's a link to a lesson for every single song on that list. But before you go there, just let me demonstrate how I would use this in your guitar journey. So we're just going to go to the top of the page here, and you can scroll past all the explanation because I already explained this all to you. And we have some songs that use C and G, and you just pick one and you try it. Now, some of these songs might not be your thing, but there's a good variety here, and you don't have to do any of the C or G ones. You can start with E and A, whatever it is you like, and you just try your best. Everybody's skills vary, and some people find the strumming things a little bit difficult, but I would consider all of these to be beginner songs. It's just that some people are different kinds of beginners than others, and everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. Now, a bit of a disclaimer here. The C chord isn't the easiest chord on guitar, but a couple of these lessons will show you an easier way to play it, where we just kind of have our G chord, and then we move our index and middle up. It makes C add 9, but it works just like a C chord. And for E and A sus2, you can leave your index down and just move 2 fingers for that as well. So there's all these simplifications and shortcuts. Instead of doing the strumming pattern, you can just play 4 downstrokes. The whole point is to go steady, don't bite off more than you can chew, to make it all the way through an entire song, and then to build on it. And it's kind of like starting out with like a really simple outline and then adding more detail to the picture as you go along. And I know that I'm going quick here because this is just a quick overview. Really, I've spent the last 10 years making hundreds of lessons for my channel that go over every single one of these things in detail. But if you want the ultimate path, I have a course, Learn Guitar Once and For All. It's part of my All Access Pass. We'll talk about that more at the end here, but that's definitely something to think about if you just want me to walk you through the entire process, through all the techniques, all the songs, the order to learn everything in. Anyways, moving on, we have a few different chord pairs, E and A, and then there's this list here where like there's E minor and D. Just go with whatever you like. The whole point is that you're just learning a 2-chord song, because when you just have 2 chords, there's only 2 switches. You start on one chord and you switch to the next one, and then you switch back. That's all there is to it. You're not confusing your fingers with a 3rd, a 4th, a 5th chord, because when you look at the math, every time you add a chord, you're adding a number of more switches. So with 3 chords, you're going between chord 1 and 2 and then back, and then from chord 1 to 3 and back and 2 to 3, etc. And you just do the math and it's like, what is that, 6 switches or something? And you do 4 and it's even more. It goes up exponentially. We're making things way too complicated up front, and it totally explains why you're not playing through an entire song. You're trying to do the strumming pattern, thinking about those down and up strokes. Just play downstrokes, simplify, and you're going to start learning songs, and you can always build it up from there. Now, once we got a couple 2-chord songs under our belt, we can move on to 3-chord songs. And that's where things really kind of open up. There's tons of cool 3-chord songs. We're not just playing nursery rhymes at this point, like Tambourine Man, Blowing in the Wind, Leaving on a Jet Plane, Midnight Special. There's a ton of great tunes here. Free Fallin', Get Back, Folsom Prison, Walk the Line. You're jamming some cool tunes here. And, once again, we're doing them in groupings. G, C, and D. You just work on those 3 chords together. D, G, A. E, A, B, 7. And there's a little bit of overlap, like the A chords in a couple of those groups. Same thing with the D chord. And then once you master that, you can maybe learn a song that kind of goes between those groups, or you can learn the most common chord progression ever. And you're not relegated to playing the chords like the real way, where you're going like G, E minor, C, and D. I have another video, which I'll link below, which shows you a trick where you can just leave down 2 fingers and that's a great way to get used to jamming through the tune. Maybe you can work on your strumming at that point, and you can play thousands of songs. This is just a small sample. There's literally thousands upon thousands of songs that you can play with just that 4-chord combo. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about today, just to kind of give you some direction. Because recently somebody in my community, they sent me a video and they had this exact question. And I was seeing them play, and I was seeing the way that their hands were moving. They were pretty good with the chord shapes. They were pretty good. They could even do some finger style and stuff, but they didn't get the concept of just keep it simple, learn a 2-chord song, and then build up from there. It has nothing to do with your abilities, just the path that you're on. And this is the clearest, simplest way to do it. I hope you find this useful. If you want a more direct approach, if you want me to walk you through every single step of this, that's what I do in my beginner guitar course, Learn Guitar Once and For All. Whether you're an absolute beginner or if you're somebody who never got through an entire song, from start to finish, and you've been trying for a long time, we're going to get your rhythm solid. We're going to get you feeling it. It's not just about memorizing strumming patterns. It's about actually having that sense of rhythm. We're going to get your chord transitions good. We're going to make your chord transitions rhythmic, which is something people overlook. We're going to put it all together, learn songs the entire way. You also get access to all my YouTube bonuses, full song playthroughs, my community where you can ask me questions directly, and I can even send a video back and give you a little lesson that way too. I'm helping people every day, answering questions, giving personalized feedback. And if you want to be a part of that, it's all included. I'll put more info on that down below. Otherwise, if you enjoy learning guitar with me, I'd appreciate if you could take a moment to subscribe to the channel, then check out that free webpage. I'll pop a link in the description and the pinned comment down below. And if you haven't grabbed my free ebook, you'll find that down below too. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, any suggestions, maybe you know some more songs that just use E and A, I'd love to hear it. Have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.